everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on Pinocchio 3000. Now, as you know, Pinocchio 1000 is a 2004 and computer animated science fiction film that was meant to be a more futuristic kind of take on Pinocchio and based on the classic 1883 novel, The Adventures of Pinocchio. And in this film, Pinocchio is meant to be a sort of robot boy. And the film, I would say, takes a lot more inspirations from Astro Boy, elements of Sonic the Hedgehog, and combining it all together. Now, the premise of the film is meant to be about a gifted inventor known as Geppetto, who creates a robot boy known as Pinocchio. And I would say Pinocchio's character is that he's meant to kind of wants to be a real boy, wants to kind of learn about the sort of day-to-day life. And of course, we kind of see how Pinocchio meets his sort of robotic fairy godmother, Cyber-Ella. Now, I would say Cyber-Ella's character is that she's kind of meant to be this robotic fairy, and it's kind of implied the film is meant to kind of portray her as being a sort of IA system that helps robots find their purpose. And I would say throughout the film we kind of see how Pinocchio kind of learns about the city, and of course we kind of see how he's manipulated by Mayor Scamboni, who is meant to be the mayor of the town, hates nature, and of course has two robotic henchmen known as Cabby and Waldo, who are basically meant to be the sort of scratch and grounder to the film. And I would say the film does take a lot more inspiration from Dr. Robotnik from Sonic Sat-Am with Scamboni's character. And I think that the reason why is because, much like Robotnik, Scamboni has his own kind of roboticizer, which he turns children in a theme park to robots. And of course this leaves Pinocchio to try and save the day, to sort of try to right his wrongs. And I would say the film comes off as quick and never really takes time to sort of calm itself down. I think when you've got Mayor Scamboni's daughter, I think they could have had more time with her to sort of be jealous at Pinocchio at school and maybe have Pinocchio kind of being a bit of a know-it-all at some situations. And I kind of feel with the film itself also kind of feels like we could have had protesters against Scamboni for turning the city into a metal wasteland, and it never really seems like there's any real adults around besides Geppetto and Scamboni. And it's even kind of implied that Mayor Scamboni and even Geppetto seem to have a history that's never really brought up as much. So it kind of either implies they were lab partners or co-owned a business or something. And I think at the same time what I think the film tries to do is try to mix a lot of things together, but really not knowing what it wants to tell. I think when it kind of, in my opinion, has moments where it wants to kind of give Scamboni's daughter time to sort of realise her mistakes, maybe kind of explain the reason why she tries to please her father, they never do it as much. And I kind of feel as well like Scamboni is kind of that villain who knows how to manipulate others to get what he wants, and knows how to sort of get the way he wants. And I think this does remind me a bit of Robotnik in Sonic Sat-Am, as he kind of has turned Mobius into a barren wasteland. We've seen what the roboticizer has done to people. And I think him being voiced by Malcolm McDowell does show how evil and menacing Scamboni is. And I kind of feel with Spencer in the film, who's meant to be a robotic penguin, is more like the voice of reason in some situations, but is kind of thrown in to be the Jeremy Cricket to the film, which is meant to kind of fill that role a bit, which is hardly used. And I kind of feel, to me at least, Pinocchio 3000 is more like a movie that's mixing Astro Boy, elements of the roboticizer, and Scratch and Grounder into one big movie. So if you want my opinion, I think it deserves thumbs in the middle. It's a good idea, just poorly executed. So, Comic Reviewer here, for signing out.